AAFD-TV co-host Joan Bowling recently spoke with CEO of Capital Solutions, Misty Chally, Esquire, about legislation, immigration, and lobbying. Take a look at their conversation.
Misty, thank you so much for being with us here today. What is happening in Congress right now that franchisees can't afford to ignore?
Well, first, thank you for having me, and thank AAFD for having me on as well. Right now, I'd say franchisees need to focus on the tax package that Congress is working on. They've had a couple of hurdles that they've met, and so right now they're working on putting together different provisions in a tax package or a reconciliation package that you might have heard that name. And because it's a reconciliation package, it only needs a majority of the votes in both the House and Senate. So this is the one package that actually has a chance of passing because they really only need a majority of the vote. So I would focus on the provisions of the tax package.
So those provisions then are quite significant to franchisees. Now, as well, immigration policies are shifting. What does that mean for franchise owners on the ground?
The immigration policies are shifting primarily through executive orders in the administrative branch. And that has a huge impact on franchisees' workforce. Everything from the temporary protective status, the revocation of the TPS, it's called, for Venezuelans and Haitians, as well as termination of parole programs for many other individuals, Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, Venezuelans, and then just the massive deportations going on. There are a lot of people that are worried about losing their workers, whether they're here legally or illegally. So I think it's a huge issue. I don't think that's going away anytime soon, but it is more of an administrative branch action than it is a congressional action. So really focusing on Department of Labor, the White House, and those federal agencies that are handling this issue.
And it's so important to have skilled, trained workers for a franchise, as well as that impacts operating hours, that impacts payroll, and that impacts profit. So what you're saying is we need to really keep that in front of franchisees, correct?
Yes, we need to keep it in front of franchisees, and it's moving so quickly that the constant flow of information is very important. This revocation of the parole programs is just recent, and those that are covered are already receiving letters about their termination. So all of this is moving very quickly in the administrative branch.
That is a key issue as well. Lobbying in Washington. Why should franchisees see it as a must-have, not as a maybe?
Well, there are certainly people here in Washington and organizations coming here to talk about issues that could hurt your business. We need franchisees here in Washington to come tell your story about how provisions and initiatives can help your business and how to stop those initiatives that are hurting your business. If you're not here, who is going to tell your story? When, in my experience on the Hill, members and their staff don't really understand even what a franchise is and what the franchisees pay for versus what the franchisor's role is. So it is crucial that we have franchisees come here, talk about being a small business owner, talk about the business model and the proposals that are hurting your business.
It sounds like education is the key in lobbying to keep those issues for franchisee in front of the key people in Washington. That business will impact not only the businesses and the franchisees, but all of us. Thank you so much, Misty, for being here with us in this very interesting, informative conversation.
Thank you for having me.
To connect with Misty, please visit capsolutionsllc.net or email her at mistyc@capsolutionsllc.net.